Okay, here we go, boxing fans. We have another installment of ATL Boxing Talk. And tonight we're going to talk about the fights that occurred over the weekend. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Took on Marco Antonio Rubio. And on the undercard of that fight was Nonito Donair versus Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. Nonito Donair happens to be my favorite Filipino fighter. I'm proud to say that. Most people would stake their claim to Manny Pacquiao, but I beg to differ. I think Nonito Donair is the goods. But let's just jump right on into it. Let's start with the main event. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. took on Marco Antonio Rubio. The fight turned out to be a little bit more competitive than I thought it was going to be. Julio Cesar Chavez looked good, threw body shots, stuck to a jab somewhat, you know. He jabbed at the times that he needed to jab all the time, but he was loading up on a lot of shots, and maybe it was just the pressure of, performing in Texas, in front of his father. He has a very large legacy to live up to, being the son of Julio Cesar Chavez. And there were moments in the fight where I thought he could have done more, but he did pull off the victory. Marco Antonio Rubio fought his heart out. I like his spirit. I like his gumption. He really went in there to win this fight. He wasn't an opponent. He was really trying to win this fight, and it showed. Only thing that concerns me with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at this particular point is weight. He's having a problem making weight at the 160-pound weight limit. Now, he did weigh in at 159 and a half, but come fight night, he was a light heavyweight. Marco Antonio Rubio put on about 7 pounds come fight night. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., I think he put on about 16 pounds, almost 20 pounds. And even carrying that weight, he still couldn't finish Marco Antonio Rubio, which is a testament to Marco Antonio Rubio's chin and his body. I mean, he must have been in fantastic shape for this fight, because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. did land some really good body shots, and he landed a bunch of shots to the head. And Marco Antonio Rubio, man, there were times where he just, he kept marching forward. Same thing with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, there were a lot of punches that were landed against him. And I think just because of his size, he was able to walk through them. That's probably going to be a problem for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Come later in his career, once he starts to step up to the really bona fide middleweights and, even the super middleweights. That's going to be a problem. He can't keep taking those type of punches. But, for his first solid test, I'm going to go ahead and give him probably a B. He did okay. He did pretty good. And the fight, being that it was a competitive fight, that really was a fan-friendly fight. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give him a B. Good for you, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I think the people over at Top Rank are going to move him along the way that he should be moved along. Marco Antonio Rubio this wasn't a David and Goliath type of fight, but it was a measuring stick to see where Junior is in his career, and he did pretty good. So, good for you, Junior. And you got some really big shoes to fill, but I think you're moving in the right direction. You have a fighter spirit, and that's good. That's really going to bid well for you later on down the road. You throw a hellacious body shot. I mean, you were cut from the same cloth as your father, no doubt about that when it comes to the body shots. We got to get you to work that jab a little bit more, but I think that with some time, you will improve. Now, at the end of the fight, the post-fight interview, you called out Sergio Martinez. At this particular point in your career, I think that's a mistake. Sergio Martinez is a solid fighter. You know, as far as pound for pound goes, he's my pound for pound number 4 fighter. You're not ready for that kind of a test just yet. There are some things that you need to work on. One is taking a lot of punches. And 2, we got to get you in the weight class that you're going to be in, because you're really struggling with the weight. And I don't know if that's because of, you know, the word on the street is, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. doesn't really like to train a whole lot. That could be part of the problem. I don't know. But I do know this. If you're struggling to make weight at 160, you know, maybe you should move up a weight division. Carrying that power up in the other weight division might be a concern, but or either really just dedicate yourself to training. You know, it's going to be one of the two. I mean, you're in the hurt business, son, and you gotta treat it as such. But overall, you know, pretty good performance. I liked it. It was a fan-friendly fight. Okay, so on to Nonito Donair and Rafael Vasquez Jr. This fight turned out to be really good. Nonito Donair was moving up to bantamweight, and he took on Rafael Vasquez Jr. And by the 4th round, I think Nonito was really comfortable with himself and with the way that the fight was going. He was able to land a lot of shots. I mean, he threw punches from awkward angles. And Rafael Vasquez Jr., even though he fought hard and he fought brave, you can tell there was some frustration there, just dealing with the likes of a Nonito Donair. Nonito Donair dropped him in the 9th round with it was a uppercut, left hook combo. Rafael Vasquez Jr. was able to get up from that. But all that lets me know is that as Nonito Donair goes up in weight, he's still able to carry the power. Even though he wasn't able to finish Vasquez, even though he's young, he's still a pretty solid fighter. And I like the kid. I can't lie. I really do like the kid. And I do believe that he'll be able to retain his title simply because I just don't think that Nonito Donair is going to be in that weight division for too long. He maybe 2 or 3 title defenses and then, you know, on to bigger challenges. And that bids well for Rafael Vasquez Jr. because I think once Nonito exits that weight division, Vasquez Jr. is probably going to be without peer for some time. They are already talking about putting together a fight with Nonito Donair and my man Euricus Gamboa. That would be a really good fight. I salivate just thinking about that fight. And hopefully that fight will come off sometime later this year or maybe early next year. I'm looking forward to watching that fight. I know that that's going to be a fight of skill and power between 2 little men. And hopefully, it will live up to its potential. On a sad note, I guess everybody in the boxing world knows now that legendary trainer Angelo Dundee passed away. He lived a full life. He was 90 years old. And, my prayers go out to the Dundee family. This guy was great. I mean, he trained all of the great fighters. Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. I've been watching some of the blogs on the internet, and this man was just loved by the boxing community and even people outside of the boxing community. So, rest in peace, Angelo Dundee. I mean, you really did the sport proud, and you will be missed. Definitely, you will be missed. But that's it for right now. ATL Boxing Talk. Anybody wants to get back at me, ask me some questions or whatever, or just chop it up, feel free. I look forward to hearing from anybody that loves the sport of boxing because I love the sport of boxing. And we're going to go ahead and sign off and look forward to hearing from you later. Thank you.